Hey there guys, it's Too Old for Gaming, and today we're playing at Naratch Lake on another exciting 10 versus 10 here in Steel Division 2. I'm playing one of my all-time favorites, 4A Alpina, and we're going to try to control all of these. There's a lot of flags in here. These flags, and then push into the enemy's territory over here. So initially we got Spitfires coming in, BF-109 Recon trying to intercept, but not able to. Big bombs going off. And he destroys several of my trucks on their way to the front line. So not a great start for us here. More P-51s coming in. Oh, man. Takes out my recon car. Takes out another truck. So I swear he took out about half of my forces going to the front line. But we're not going to give up here today. And so I don't know if you guys watched my last video. I did a video on Warno. Let me know what you guys think. I keep trying to make it fun and exciting to do Warno replays of 10 versus 10, but I think you guys find it about as exciting as I do based on the analytics coming off the video. If you want to see more Warno stuff, let me know, but I still believe that this game has way more depth in its current form. I'm continuing to look for other RTS and turn-based games that would be exciting to show replays or playthroughs on, and I'm kind of hitting ahead. I might pick up Men of War 2. I've always been a fan of that series. I just haven't grabbed the latest one. If you guys want to see content from that game, please let me know. So we're starting to get some infantry up into the flag here with Tito's Revenge. And we've got Sheikh Saddam Hussein up here with us, too. And Oberfuhrer. So my guys are going to have to hoof it since their trucks got destroyed. That's okay. We've got a Stug 3 here. He's going to guard this road coming in. And all the enemy infantry here. Looks like we're fighting against United Kingdom. And then I saw a French vehicle coming in here. So we'll see what happens with these guys. I did call an ME-410A3 to kind of check out their anti-aircraft in the area and scope things out. 4A Alpina has okay Air Force. I think they have some decent planes to bring in. I'd say that after I played them a lot because I just enjoy the mix of equipment and the challenge they bring to playing the game, and how you've got to use some equipment that's usually not quite peer level to the enemy and figure out how to win, and I just find that incredibly fun. So I would say that the biggest drawback to them that I've really noticed is the only you can get mortars, you can get 75mm howitzers, and you can get 100mm howitzers, but you can't get like a 172mm from the Germans or like a 155, anything like that. So you don't. I would say if they did an update to the deck, I would love to see at least like one card of high caliber artillery that you can bring in. I think it would make a difference. So Rifles team coming up close here and getting us to surrender because he had brought in quite a few. These guys pretty decent. I know we've done a lot of changes to stats and stuff over time, and the Rifles Piat with 2 Brens are actually pretty solid now. They do a 1 damage and 40 suppression, which let's take a look at an MG. These guys don't have them. The Brita's obviously going to do less. The Brita does half and 40, so seems like they may have normalized these auto rifles. I would like to see a little bit of difference between auto rifles and machine guns. I think making them all the same stats kind of removes some of the charm of having different weapons. And I think they've done some of that recently, which I dislike. Variety, man. It's the spice. What's the reason of playing different decks? Let's make them a little bit different. Alright, so we've fully secured the town now after our guys have walked in. You can see I brought in all of my anti-aircraft, so basically those fantastic 20mm inside these outdated trucks. Our teammates have set up an IG-33 over here as well to help keep the enemy pushed off. Now we are dealing with enemy Su-122s up here who have Overwatch on the town. which is going to make things challenging for us. I don't have anything that can knock that out yet. In Phase A on the deck build I did, I wanted a lot of 75mm howitzer pack 40s, so I'm bringing them in later in the game. I just have Panzer Shreks right now because I really, you know, we've got the P40 tanks, which are honestly pretty decent. I played another match with this deck right after this, which was Autobahn Zur. That match went about an hour, but I'm telling you, I was able to defend an area like this on there the entire match without losing it to, like, way better Soviet equipment. If you guys want to see something that long, go ahead and post in the comments if you want to check that match out. It was pretty fun, especially, you know, trying to use some of these guys. And the Pioneers are pretty unique with the flamethrower and the grenade bundle. No machine gun though, but four submachine guns. So we're about to push them off this flag here, and these rifles teams just getting destroyed by our friendly large caliber artillery. Stug 3 goes down here to, I believe, the Su-122. Another rifles team is destroyed, and we've got a pretty good amount of infantry over here and an MG-42, so they're not going to advance. We do have Humbler Mark IVs coming in. Definitely can be dangerous to us. I'm using these 75mm with the heats kind of as my frontline defense against vehicles because they have 13 heat shells. M1542 is coming in now, though. Should be able to crack these guys pretty easily. The 47mm Italian gun can do 70mm of penetration. You get a boatload of shells for 20 points, so you might lose a lot of Italian tanks, but they're still useful. And like I said, this guy, he can see my trucks coming in, so hopefully they can make it through. They drive so slow. 60 kilometers an hour just feels like you're crawling in this game. So more and more Alpini coming in. I did bring in mortars too. You'll see some use of those later. I dropped a help beacon over here. We are going to... We didn't have... You could see over here we don't have a lot of defense. So I'm bringing in a Panzer Shrek to hide in here against these guys. IS-2 gets knocked out over here by, I think, the 88 or this Panther. We got Martyrs coming in now. And these GNR units, by the way, they can see, I think, almost as good as a recon with that security buff. I haven't looked at the stats table, but it's definitely, when they're not moving, they can see quite well. So Stug 3 dueling with a lot of enemy armor up here. Could get some artillery on that. I have placed my 75 on the 17-pounder who is lined up to hit us, and we are actually using this to pretty good effect here to knock him out. So he's totally pinned right now. I know these are small shells, but we should be able to take him down. And so I put this M15 in here too to help protect these guys. You know, you're not really going to use these guys as sort of a breakthrough tank. I treat the Italian tanks, I would say, more like I would treat like a Martyr, an assault gun, just because they're lightly armored. So I let the team know that I got that 17-pounder and that area's clear over here. We're dropping artillery on this sector now since there's a concentration of enemy equipment here. We haven't taken a look around the match, so let's take a look down the front line here. See enemy anti-aircraft on the front line, a half-track retreating. We got Strelke rifle teams moving forward here, firing at this PaK-38, and he is destroyed by, I believe, the Su-122. So PaK-40 out here in light woods, preventing a breakthrough by that T-34-85. And over here in the other village, we've got flame troopers going up against tanks, which is never good. But we actually blow up that Crusader. Wow. Good job, single guy. We've got some Ersatz Pioneers, but definitely need some reinforcements up here to hold this. Attack beacon and smoke, so I don't know whose smoke that is, who's pushing. And then quite a few enemy armored vehicles, including a 76. So definitely got some work to do to reinforce this front line. I would say in the whole map, ours is probably the most stable. Make sure you guys invest in infantry. Infantry is what you need to hold front lines. So we've got a friendly smoke push going over here Not a whole lot of infantry, though. We've got these Sostroop teams with MP44s, which I think are fantastic. They're pretty easy to kill off, though. And the half-track, if we can't knock him down, he's just going to pin all these guys if they can be spotted. So I'm trying to move my M15 forward to see if I can help support that a little bit better. And I'm bringing up this 45, so I'm going to use the 45 to indirect fire on this M5 half-track and try to knock him out, because I can just see he's pinning these guys. Honey Stewarts are coming in now. I did move in a P2640. That was the one I was referring to earlier. Honestly, these are pretty good. I've put side shots on IS-2s on these. They'll go through the side armor. You're talking about a tank that costs 45 points. Unfortunately, you don't get that many of them, but it's a decent medium tank. Like, I would take these P2640s all day long. The biggest downside is you only get 600 rounds of machine gun ammo. So our artillery just blowing the forest at the top of this hill to smithereens, trying to take out these Su-122s, because we're just not going to be able to advance without that destroyed. So we'll see what happens here, but we do get a single team over here. Unfortunately, friendly artillery is still firing in the sector, and we take a casualty from our own guns. Enemy artillery fire now sort of landing in our position on our hills. We'll have to keep an eye on that. This Su-122 almost fully suppressed. Pak-40 misses. Probably could have taken him out there. So I'm trying to see if we can actually... So we should be able to see... We've knocked out all of those recon cars that were coming forward. Zis-2 is getting pinned. And he's starting to drop some pretty big shells in our position to take out the Martyr and P-26. I don't think we've been damaged yet. No, but what a cool model. So, still not a big change here, but looks like we're getting some off-map going down on the town. I think that's what that was. I'm not sure what else it would have been. I don't see any planes. So it looks like, again, we're using good communication here, guys. You want to win matches, work with your teammates, communicate. Talking about doing a push. I'm bringing in my reinforcements here. Now, if we get off-mapped right here, right now, that'd be awful for us, but that's just the way war goes sometimes. Pak-40 getting shot at by the Strelky. We got we've got a machine gun coming over here, which will definitely help out. Again, great communication by the team here. And I think because we're playing so well together, we're going to have some luck moving forward. I'm going to close this down. You guys should have had plenty of time to look at the players. 12-14 right now, so we've only got one more flag than them. All right, so my 45 starting to fire at this M5. We'll see if we can knock him out. Direct hit. So that guy... It's funny, man, like, just a half-track can bottle up your infantry sometimes. And we managed to just drop one right in the back and blow it up, so that's great. Artillery coming down in the enemy position again. We want to get into the woods and push down into the town here. There is such a concentration of flags here. I mean, if you make a breakthrough, this is like a great blitzkrieg. Like, look at all these flags you can cap if you can make a breakthrough. So ME-410 coming back in just to see what's going on. Looks like we got a 37mm over here firing at us. So there's another anti-aircraft gun who's triple vetted. Artillery shells fired very close to him. Hopefully the ME-410 can make it out. He's on fire. He doesn't. So we've got more work to do if we want to bring in the Italian Air Force here. Honey Stewart's trying to prevent a breakthrough. The smoke. Now, I mentioned I have a lot of Pak-40s available in this deck. In addition to the Pak-40s, I've got 90mm anti-aircraft dual-purpose guns. And this guy, he drove up this way for some reason. So he bailed out of his vehicle, and he's just going to die out in the open. It, again, just kind of goes to something I've said before. You got to try to pay attention to the roads they're taking. Sometimes you got to redirect them. So the MG-42 over there died in the field. Another truck coming in to our position here in the off map, less than 30 seconds to hitting the ground. I did bring in two of these bad boys to help stabilize the front line, and we've got a Panther moving towards the front too, and our position continued to be shelled. Look at all that smoke. So we're starting to move forward. Ooh, unfortunately, one of my recon vehicles got destroyed, maybe by this SU-122. Really got to take him out. He's got a really great field position. Panther D comes in, wipes him. Saustrup leading the way here, but not close enough. No, they were close enough, so they used up their Molotovs, and looks like they were able to push them back. So the Alpini are going to reinforce with the team here, with Tito, see if we can take this hill and then continue driving forward. Great use of smoke by the team. Really love seeing tactics being used here. MG42 now in position to fire in these Strelkies. They will get wiped for sure as they are standing out in the open, unless he hits fallback, which he does. So the off map clearing the hill for us, but enemy counter battery fire onto the position we're trying to advance into. Our 75s who are trying to drive to the front line do get hit by artillery fire on our position, so we take a couple casualties on this one. The rest get suppressed, but I did let the team know that they were targeting his Panther commander, but for some reason this guy must be AFK because he never moved it. So now I've got my 90mm cannon coming in here. I want to prevent this IS-1 from driving the line forward, so we're going to set him up in here. These are the only things I have with 2K range. Enemy investing a lot in Su-76s in the back. That's probably, based on the shell holes, what's been hitting us. Alpini's on the front line, keeping those rifles teams pinned down as the off-map. A brilliant strategic placement by the team. It drives these guys back, and we flip the flag. I love great team play, guys. This is just awesome to see. And so enemy reinforcements continue to try to come in and grab the flag back, but we're going to drop another off map to disrupt those guys. My Alpini accidentally walk into the open, and they're not going to be any match for these Cromwells of the 95, so they are going to die. My other squad's still okay. So one thing about the Italian squads is they are quite small. They're only 8-man squads. The Pioneers get 11 men, but the standard Alpini is just 8 men. See this off-map fall right on this commander, who's already taking direct fire. Big buffed Shrapniki teams coming in now. So those are basically 2 squads. Truck gets blown up, but the 3 men get out. And they are all pinned. I hear the MG42 firing somewhere. I don't know what he saw, but I heard it. So we managed to force the enemy off the flag. There's got to be something here that has not been moved back yet. T-34 is taking fire from the Panther. I have one of these 75s up here. I have them set up more to ambush, and the reason for that is we had 122s over here, and I just didn't want to get nuked by enemy assault guns by being too exposed. Fireflies are trying to come in over here, but they get hit by something. And again, we're finally getting some infantry up here. You need some anti-tank guns. You got cover. So we need AT guns in here, infantry. We should not be losing this flag. It's tied at 13-13 because we're pushing the front line in our sector. So here, let's take a look at that 90 mil. A great gun. I don't really know much about its history. If you guys want to drop something in the comments to inform us, it'd be awesome. But we can do 170 millimeters of penetration on the enemy. We start out with 20 rounds, and we get 20 rounds a minute, but the game does play with that because when you switch to different rounds, they will drop your rate of fire. I'm assuming that's just a game balance thing. Doesn't make any sense to me why one would be slower than the other to load. So our other 75 is on the front line over here. Lots of smoke, and he keeps trying to push trucks through. It looks like our P-26 was destroyed, probably by artillery. I do have a command tank in here, and he's only 15 points to give these guys veterancy. Another 75 destroyed by artillery. But we have this village flag with a half a squad of paratroopers. We've got more off-map dropping over here on the other enemy flags, so we're slowly but surely pushing forward into those enemy flags. Wow, those are some big explosions. Holy cow. And the enemy trying to push into the forest here to gain the advantage of the defense with the cover. So fortunately these Legionary got up just in time before he got his infantry in, because it would have been hard to shake them out. The Su-85 is getting pushed off, and so the French and combined French and Soviet forces getting pinned and pushed off finally. So we've got that flag back, putting it back to a 14-12. Enemy still trying to recap this little village over here and pushing forward Legionaries. My cannon over here, you can see all the shell holes, so they're continuing to get knocked out, and I think we only had 4 P-26s, but we have like 10 PAC-40s, so I can just keep calling these in, because I know they're just going to keep getting destroyed by artillery. For the 90 millimeters, I want to say we either get 2 or 4. My gut says we get 4 of those. I did bring in my 100 millimeter batteries. These do like little less than 5,000 blast with 35 shells, and they are set up too for frontline against tanks. The heat shells do 110 millimeters of penetration. Firefly gets penetrated by my PAC-40. Let's see if he can knock him out. He does. We do get APCRs with these PAC-40s. Churchill gets penetrated, but takes a casualty in return. We get a bounce by a PAC-38. And I'm being pushed due to probably fire in the woods. Shooter's knocked out. These Churchill 7s have 150 millimeters of frontal armor. We do manage to get through it with the APCR. I know you guys love turning off APCR, but for some tanks, you need it. That's definitely a tank you need APCR for. So I've got an M1542 pushed up here to the front line. A lot more ammo for the machine guns in it. Plenty of high explosive shells, and we get all this goodies for 20 points. I think there's 3 different. We got the M1340, we got the M1542, we got the P24, we got auto blend to 43s, so a lot of little fun light tanks to play around with. So more paratroopers coming in to hold on to this flag. We're going to need probably more than that to keep things buttoned down. We've got an 88 here, so the enemy keeps pushing his tanks this way. There's an 88 with a spotter up here. And then we've got a bunch of IG-33s. I would say it would probably be better to push one of these guys up here, and maybe we can get some cover on that. P2 coming into a ton of small caliber anti-aircraft fire. Incredible resilience there, because we have a lot of stuff down here. And we have 88s. And a 90, and he's still alive. Oh, nope, he got shot down. So I was about to say, we have a ton of anti-aircraft. So M15 here to provide some fire support to our paratroopers. Doing a good job. You can see we're blazing away with the machine gun ammo. Holy cow. 75 still getting hit by off-map somewhere. We've got enemy Katyusha fire. Those look pretty large. Quite accurate, too. Panzerschreck team gets knocked out. I want to say I was walking one up here to try to get into this town in case his trucks came back through. So Panther's pushing the front line. A big rush of infantry heading up here. I mean, that's a lot of trucks, so we'll see what happens, but he's facing down an M8, which is going to make his life tough. He takes out one truck. Panther A, though, spots him and should be able, if he can land this shot, should be able to take him down. And he does. There's a 57 up here, too, so he These guys turn off behind the hill, so they've got some cover here, and Panthers to back them up. So we'll see if we can take another flag over here. We've got a Stug 3 up here dueling with Churchills now. These are the Churchill 4, so 90 millimeters of frontal armor, and the guns on this can do 135 millimeters of penetration, so it shouldn't be any problem to take out these Churchill 4s. One goes down, the next one should be down here soon. Tito's still holding things here with his infantry. Looks like we've got one man there. Sniper team trying to spot everything, but the MG42 for some reason couldn't see him. So I would like to, if possible, to take this hill. See if we can do that. We've got a lot of, again, a lot of light tanks we can bring in. We haven't really checked out this side, so can't say a whole lot. Looks like it's going on here outside of artillery, but wow, looks like the enemy tried to push things through out in the open and paid dearly for it. Enemy aircraft come back in. Those Spitfires we saw harassing us at the beginning, we have pushed forward pretty far. Strafes the M15 and then drops his bombs, and he is destroyed. But the Air Cobra goes down, and that was a 20-point tank, so I guess if you're going to lose a 20-point tank to a 110-point plane, not a bad trade. B-26s, I didn't see any bomb. Here they come. So the B-26s do get their bomb loads off, but we still have infantry in here. Anything I had was destroyed. I set up a defense beacon because I noticed these Fireflies over here creeping in on our zone. You see, they took out my recon car as he was trying to head to the front lines. He's retreating. I redirected my 100s onto that area. Now, the Italians don't have those large caliber artillery pieces, but they do have radios, so that helps a little bit. We did take out, so I did bring in my second 90mm here to take out the enemy, and we took out, I think that said it was a T-34-85 Commander, and there's an IS-2 moving forward, but he knows that I'm going to nail him, so he moves out of range. I'm bringing in RE-2002s with a plane to see what we can do. These have 250 kilogram bombs. So we don't kill him, but he's damaged. So we're starting to get some of our paratroopers up here, but these guys are pinned and behind lines. They might even get surrendered. And, you know, it's probably a good idea for me to start bringing in some, like, 65mm field guns. Those are quick firing, and we're seeing infantry and stuff, so I think I did in this match to provide some more support fire. I was trying to get more MG42s up here, too. But I think I lost some on the way. So, our right flank has been secured by Bob Warno. He has done a great job of getting the infantry up here. We need to get some anti-tank guns and maybe a machine gun or field gun up here. Tremendously worried about off-map, though. So we'll see. We're still getting hit back here by artillery fire. Our command tank almost getting shelled, but we're still alive. 105 plane coming in from Stubborn. He is killed, but I'm sure he got a single one down. And here comes my 65. Look at the guy. They just look like they're out for a Sunday drive. P2 coming back in. Man, these things are, again, I know that last one got destroyed, but we have so much stuff. I'm amazed that they're even making it that far. That guy, he looks like he got away. Those PE2s are very resilient. More Alpini driving to the front line here. I brought in a second 90, so I had 4. Wanted to drive them up here, and then this break between the hills we can cover on these Fireflies. He was really trying. He was shelling this one. He took a couple casualties, and I figured we were going to die off. We're getting counter batteried now, unfortunately, which I'm a little bit surprised by. They're targeting my 100s, and so we got 150s. He's targeting me. Typically, the game, if you set it to auto counter, it will target the largest caliber artillery piece, which makes sense. But in my case, it's been targeting me, so I don't know if it's just a player can manually target, obviously. So M1441's up to the front line now. And we're facing off against a T-34. We're a little bit outmatched for that, but we're pinging a lot of rounds off the front, so we might be able to get him to scare him off. We do have heat shells. The heat shells do 65. AP does 55. So damages transmission, and he is knocked out. It might have been by it looks like we took him out. We can penetrate the side armor. So if we get a side shot, they're dead. I did bring in, I moved up our command tank because I had noticed, actually I brought in another one. I thought I moved that one up, I didn't yet. So we get a bailout on one. Pack 40 here though, able to reinforce us. Again, these tanks are really, in this stage of the war, they're really for fighting infantry. Bring in more and more because I want to take this hill if I can. We got 7 minutes to go in the game if you're still listening to me. Looks like we did get pushed off, and I would guess that's by off-map artillery. Still all part of war. So SU-85 knocks out our tank, but our OB-65 is here, set up now. I don't know if he can really get through the front on that. Nope, he can't. So we need this Pack 40 to knock him out. Unfortunately, the 65 goes down, so my Pack 40, for some reason, couldn't see that guy, because I've got one set up here too, and we got LG-42, so all my equipment's good up here. We need our AT guns to knock out the enemy tanks. So we've regained command of the hill. There's significant enemy equipment right behind it, as you would expect. AT gun set up here. That might be a 17, yeah, it's 17 pounder, so very dangerous. MG42 capture goes down. IG-33 out in the open. I would recommend that you don't do that. I would put it right there so you can see down the road, and then move this guy right there. You can cut your enemy off before he can even get a round off. And yeah, I mean, you can use the Jagdpanther to ambush, but it's got so much armor, I would almost... It's almost like a pillbox. Like, you can use that thing out in the open if you keep it at range. And I've got a video on that. Lots of stuff bottled up back here. So, enemy has taken this town, but we're holding them off this flag. Haven't seen... You know, I feel like we've had good strategy here. Like, the team is using tactics to do all this stuff. I'm not really seeing that from the enemy. And I'll tell you, when you're playing this game, it's terrifying when you see 2 or 3 players heading. You get an artillery barrage, and then you see 2 or 3 players heading your way, and you're alone. You're just like, I'm screwed here. I can't do anything about this. So, teaming up is definitely something you got to do to win matches in this. So Crocodile might... Yeah, we got him. So that's great. Rifles teams are extremely vetted. I'm guessing there's a leader over there. I have called in the Sparvero with 5 250 kilogram bombs. You can do a damage of 9. Got those, and then these guys who each have 1. 460 kilometers an hour is not fast in 1944, but it's good enough. And obviously the heavy bomber is really slow. So I'm bringing in a mix of tanks here. We've got M1441s, we've got P26s, and then I've got my Alpinis and my commander, because he's in this little Fiat car. He's driving to the front lines first. So, these Polish troops keep causing problems, just harassing fire, so I sent my Pioneer in here to wipe them out. And we've got our platoon moving forward here. We've got one team up there firing at the Strelkies, and then we've got our infantry tanks to help provide fire support, and then the P-26s to go up against enemy tanks. Our 90 is still up over here. And by the way, that Firefly just got taken out by artillery. We're almost off this flag here. That's a bummer. But we're at a 10-16 with 32 seconds left to go. My Alpini are holding the town here. It's trying to send in more Studebakers, but we captured this with the paratroopers. So my goal is to try to capture this flag, but I think we're going to run out of time before that happens. Lots and lots of trucks heading our way, but it's a 17-9 with less than 10 seconds to go. I'm going to do one sweep through the map really quick just to see what ended up happening. And again, this side, not a whole lot of change there, but we've done a pretty good job pushing things forward. After 35 minutes and 55 seconds, we capture 17 out of 26 objectives. We can take a look at our team statistics now. So I'm honestly surprised that I did less than 1,000. It was basically even. I felt like I did more. I guess I didn't. Looking at the team and the players around us, I mean, Tito was with me right there the whole time, and it was like the same thing for him, except for he did more kills. So kind of interesting. So that bomber, I didn't catch that on the replay, but we did drop it on an area and take out 3 squads with it. But everything else, I'm just kind of surprised. I thought we killed off more stuff in this one. Loss-wise, the Spit. So this is everything from the very beginning of the match. So the Spitfire, the P-51, and this is probably in phase A or B because we didn't see them in C. So my losses generally are from the very beginning with that strafing run. We got some artillery pieces, and then the Su-85 when I couldn't penetrate the front. So loss-wise, not that bad. We only did 4% of the kills, but we only had 6% of the casualties, and we have a minor victory. So I found that a lot of fun. I love seeing the team play in this one. You guys leave your feedback for me. Let me know what you want to see in the future. Like and subscribe, and I'll check you in the next one. Take care.